everyone, and welcome to our webinar on Learning and Management System, LMS, Unlocking Advanced Features for Optimal Learning with Member 365. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christine Bundy. I am the Director of Customer Success, and fun fact is I love questions. So if you have questions throughout this presentation, please put them into the Q&A at the bottom of your screen, as everyone has been muted and cameras have been turned off. Today's session is being recorded and will be posted on our YouTube channel for future reference. What will we cover today? So for today, we will go over is how to create an LMS course, how to add assignments, how to give access to contacts, how to set up reminders, add certificates, how to test the course, and then how to view those type of reports, and then go over some best practices. And my favorite part is Q&A at the end. So again, if you have questions, please put them into the Q&A at the bottom of your screen, and I will answer them if I see them as I go. I sometimes answer them as I go, but then I always have time at the end. All right, so let's dive in to Member 365. Here we are. Okay, so I'm already logged into my admin portal. Now, the first thing I always like to mention with LMS is that it is a premium. It's not included in your everyday package. It's an additional fee. So if this is a module that you are looking to get, you have to talk to the account manager for us to activate it. If you do not see it and it is activated, it means you do not have admin permissions. Even if you are an admin manager and it's turned on, the permissions need to be enabled on your contact record to be able to come to modules and learning management to be able to see these options. It happens quite often that those permissions aren't enabled, so that's why they can't see it. So in Learning MMS, we're going to go and we're going to play around with a course that I have just been working on. So we're going to go into Manage Course. You can, from scratch, just hit Create Course and doing it complete from scratch. Today, though, we're going to go in and we're going to look at the Master Your CRM with Member 365. One thing to know is we do have a new AI assistant at the top here that you can use for asking questions 24/7, 7 days a week. You can also use some fun things with AI if you have capabilities and to help you actually outline your courses. So earlier today, I was just having a little bit of fun. And I was asking like, hey, can you outline my course based off of the things that I do? So there are options for you to be able to create courses based off of information that you've given them. So this specific chat group that I'm in has all of the knowledge from Member 365. It's actually how we started creating our Member 365 assistant. And so I just asked it to give me an outline. And so this helps me with getting my name, objective. Again, it's not perfect. You need to read it. It's not going to have everything perfect. It's always learning, but it is a tool to help you get that material quickly. So when I come in here, I've added the name, the overview. So what they see before they purchase the course or enroll in the course, if it's free, and then the welcome message. You can sometimes have these the same message. You might have them different messages, but it's just what they see when they go into the course in that welcome message. And I will show you all this when we go through the test. Then you can allow students to unsubscribe to the course. So if you have discussions or anything going on in the course, they may not want to get any more communications. I know that I've taken courses 2 years ago on different platforms and I'm still getting notifications and I can't turn them off. So that can be overwhelming. So you can make it so that people can opt out of those because they're like, no, I'm good. I don't need anything else. Then you also can have a feature image. And if you click on this little icon, it's going to tell you what it's for. And then when you want to create the banner, so the feature banner that goes at the very top, you can click on here and it's going to give you the specs. Canva is great. You can make these very easily and then upload it. You want to use a PNG is the best option. You can use JPEG as well. So once you've done that, you're going to hit save and update. Now I've already published this, so I can just hit update to any of my changes. I didn't upload an image, so I'm going to turn this off. And then what we're going to do is go over to assignments. Now, again, I was using ChatGPT, which again, it's up to you. And I just had it create my modules. So I've broken down the program into different chunks to simplify it. And so I was just working on module 1 for this program. And so the assignment could have be added into this program. So what I did is I went and I clicked on add assignment. And when I do that, it's the same thing when I click on this, it gives me all of these options. So these are all the options within our system. So you can have it so that it downloads a file. So maybe you have a PDF or document that they need to review, or PowerPoint, a URL where it takes you to another page, which is what I used for the second option. Video is where you actually have a video in the video library, and you're selecting what type of category, and then you check it off, and then that video, it will be embedded into the course itself, and I will show you that in a minute. Some use the URL and go to YouTube that's private. It's completely up to you on how you want to do that, but I do recommend creating these categories. That's how you break them down into the different modules, and so it's a lot less overwhelming when they just have it broken down into smaller chunks, and then can work through each of those modules to see progress on how far they're getting. If you just have a long list of assignments with not breaking it down, it can be very overwhelming. So that's why I recommend having that. You also, on all of the types of courses, you can add a completion message if you want to. Once the course is marked as complete, then they can go on to the next one. I do have it set so that it's forced. So it is forcing them to go in order. They have to do the video before they can complete reading the article that I put in here. So this is a URL article where they're going to go off and have to read it and have to say, yes, I have completed this task, and therefore I can then go to the next item. So there is a disclaimer. The system doesn't automatically mark things as complete if it's going to a third party or if the download, because they have to say, yes, I completed it. And so there's a disclaimer involved in that. And you also can ask for proof. So if somebody has to go somewhere else and maybe provide documentation, you can have them upload a file or go to a third-party training for completion. So you can add in a completion link for that to be done if you want. Again, there are icons everywhere with question marks to let you know what is each of these items is for. Then you're going to save. So you can add additional things as well, like course tests and quizzes. So if I create a new one, let me update. 1 second, I need to resave my page. Reload. I'm caching. There we go. There we go. So I can also add quizzes. Now, I was in the process of doing another quiz, and again, ChatGPT is great for this. There are other tools out there that can help you make courses, but I just said to, out of all of this material, create a short quiz, and this is what it gave me. So I haven't read through this yet, to be honest. But it's just an example to show you what the capabilities are to help you with, because I know it's really hard sometimes to think of all the questions and answers and all those type of things, and this can help you with that. So tweak it and add it in. And then once it's in your system, you could say that this is for the quiz for module 1. And we're going to do it for LMS. And then you would pick the quiz that is associated. Now, these are all for safety. I haven't made this one yet, but just to kind of show you, I'll select one and add it in. And then it's part of that module. And then as you make the next module, it'll go into the next bracket. So for here, once you get all of your assignments completed, you then are going to go to your access. And then this is where you're going to determine who gets access to it. One of the things that I always want people to be aware of is that if you grant access here, they automatically get access. They don't have to pay for it. It's completely free. And if it is free, awesome. If it's mandatory and part of their membership, then you want to put the mandatory enrollment on, and then it's automatically enrolled and it's something they have to complete. Maybe it's for certification, but there is no charge. So if you want to have a charge with it, you want to use the store option, and you want to enable the requires purchase. And then you also want to allow still enrolled without purchase. So if you've given someone manual, like you've typed their name in, so I'm going to do for like mine right now. Let's go. We're going to say for who I am and that I am mandatory. So even though I'm here, if I have this on, if I had this saved, I wouldn't be able to use it unless I purchase it, unless I had this enabled. So even though you want to give some people free and some people have to purchase through the store, then you want to have this option enabled. And then sending an email to the purchaser to make sure that they get that. I always like to turn that one on. You can also grant access based off of non-organization organization demographics or contact demographics, individual contacts, or based off of a list. So for example, let's say you have material that you want to provide people after a course. You can, if they've enrolled and attended the course, they automatically get access. If you create a list for people who have attended that course, the second they got marked as attending, they get added to the list and they automatically get permissions to have that course, and it can be mandatory enrollment. Just options that are available. Anytime we make any updates, make sure you save and then we can continue. You can make prerequisites. If there is a courses that they have to do in order, then you can make them prerequisites. So they have to follow, maybe you have module 1 as its own course, and then module 2 as its next course, and module 3 as the next course, and breaking it down further. You can do that and then have module 1 prerequisite for module 2, module 3 or module 2 prerequisite for module 3, and so on. Reminders. I do recommend setting up reminders. So this could be like, please complete this course. It'll show up on the dashboard. And then you can also set up renewal reminders. So days since enrollment, you could do 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, 30 days. You need to have subject line, and then you need to add content as please remember to log in to complete the course. It's really important to have those reminders because people get busy, they forget, especially if it's for certification purposes. You want to send those reminders so that they complete it on time. So those are options that are available. You also can get completions alerts, so another dashboard alert. You can get an email notifications. And then if it's to go into the next step, so let's say they have about 5 modules, each module is a separate course, they pass the last module, then they're eligible to go into their certified program, then you can have it so that, yes, I can then be certified once I've completed this course, if you want. So that would be like the next step would be to have them being able to eligible to enroll into that category. You can set up retraining. So some organizations have safety programs that have to be recompleted annually, so every year. So you can set it up so that it's retraining on a daily, monthly, or yearly basis. Reoccurrence, yes, it's every 1 year they have to do this, or 12 months, however you want to set it up. Allowed retraining how many days annually? So it can be like 30 days before can they start doing it, or is it like absolutely that day? And then you can set up dashboard alerts to be like, hey, retraining's coming, and they can see that they need to do that. Now I'm going to turn this off because we don't need it. And then certificates. I love sending certificates. So when it's marked as complete, you can have the email go out to them automatically. This will autofill with the link for that. And then all you have to do is select your training certificate, and it's automatically given to them, and it's in the member portal for them to access at any time. CE, if you do have continuing education, you can assign a credit and a level that is associated to this course so that they earn those number of credits upon completion. So that is also available, and it will go on their record. Then you also have the ability for forms, libraries, and feedback. I always recommend feedback. Let people see how the course is, advertise it, as well as making tweaks. Nothing is ever stagnant. It's always ever evolving. We're always evolving and learning and how to teach and how to do things. So always take feedback and make tweaks based off that. We do that daily here at Member 365. I love hearing feedback. And so they are something that is available for you. Okay, so now I'm going to hit update, and I've already assigned this to myself. So I'm going to go test. Let's go test this out. So we're going to go up to the member portal because I assigned it to myself. And it's going to take a little minute to load. And we're going to go to LMS. And so this can be your feature image if you want. You can update the language here. You can also add things in here. So when you're editing this, you can add images or things along those lines in this box for the members. And then you're going to go down and you're going to see the ones that you've completed. And then you're going to see the ones that are available that you've manually already been enrolled in or have enrolled in. You have the training catalog. So these are all courses that are available to you to not pay. There aren't any available at the moment. Otherwise, they would be in the store for people to purchase. And once they purchase them, they get a token. Once they click on that token, they then get it added to their enrollment over here, and they can then take the course. The reason we give tokens for courses is that your boss might be like, hey, I'm going to buy 2 of these courses and I'm going to send one to Susan and one to John so that they both have the benefit of taking this course, but I paid for it on behalf of the company. So let's go into our course that we just did. And so this is the welcome message. So again, your welcome message and your description might be different, or overview might be different, or might be the same. Then we have module 1. Now, if I had module 2, it would appear underneath here and be folded. So this is a folding option. So you would have module 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I will open a couple of the other courses to show you what those looks like. But then when I come in here, I can do my assignments. So I can click on the first assignment for it to open. And then, like I mentioned, the video is automatically in here. And so you can add description and the title of it, and then you can watch the video. Now, one thing with our system that doesn't do is we don't have a SCORM compliancy so that it won't automatically mark it and you have to watch the entire thing. It is on an ARNA system. SCORM is coming, so stay tuned for that. It is coming, it is in development, so it is hopefully to be released sometime soon. I don't have a date and I will not give a date, but it is something that is on the horizons. And so we are very excited about that. So once they've watched the videos, they can go back to their course assignments, and they can come over here and they can mark it as complete. And they get the disclaimer that says, I attest that I have completed this task. So you just have to make sure you say mark as complete, and then it's done. And then goes for the same. So let's go to the course. It's going to take me to the article. I have to read the article. Okay, I've done that. Let's go and mark it as complete. This is asking for proof because I enabled it. So I have to upload something. So I can upload my certificate, or if I have an assignment that's involved with it. And then that can be completed as well. See, marked as complete automatically because I uploaded my file. Then finally, we're going to take our quiz. I apologize, my internet is slow today. All right, we're going to take the quiz. We have 5 minutes to complete this quiz. It's only one question. Cover the lid. Cover the lid. Oh, the are different. Should you pass them on with scissors? Toss them. A lot of safety. This is good. Look both ways. Complete. All right. If it in the course will automatically mark itself if it is set up to do so. We are complete. We have completed our course, and it just has to, it's not marking as complete. So this is complete, but it hasn't been marked on the CRM side. I'll show you that in a minute. You can then rate and give feedback, which then can be added. You can have discussions. So if people are asking questions, you can have someone monitoring that so that as discussions or questions come in as they're taking the course, you can answer them and they're available for everybody. You can also upload files to have additional resources other than what's in the assignments, maybe like work material that they can print off and use, anything along those lines. So that's the LMS course in itself. Now let's go back to the CRM and see some reports. All right, so for reports, we're going to go to modules, we're going to go LMS, and we're going to go down to reports. And then here's where we get a really good overview on how we're doing with all courses. So how many total? You can go into each individual course. So again, we were just working on this, and this one is pending, because if we view, well, the quiz is complete. Okay, so fun fact, if you have a problem like this, so the quiz, I actually have to go look at this quiz. I didn't make it. I have to look at it. If you are having difficulties, you can always go to the course itself, go to the CEU and go to the courses that you have. and mark any as complete if there's any issues. So I can come over here and I can say, yes, mark this as complete because I have done everything. If it's something urgent that you need to do, so that is an option that is available. However, I will be looking at that quiz because it does automatically mark them as complete if you have selected the answer for each of them. The fact that it didn't give me the score means that it didn't have that setting enabled, which is why it didn't do it. So if I go back to reports, and now I can see that everything has been marked as complete. I can see how many have enrolled, how many have completed it. I can see any that are pending if they are at all. And if I need to, I can export these reports if needed. You can also filter. So if you're having a lot of people in courses, you can filter based off of when what the status is, the exam dates, or even keywords such as names, first name, last name, email address, anything along those lines. So if I just go to one of the other courses that has a few more people in it, it'll show you exactly enrolled, anybody that are doing retraining, completed, and any that are in pending approval. So any that require approval for any of the course materials. All right. One thing that I do also want to mention is if you want your default image to appear, you can come in here and create a default badge. You can also relabel quizzes to say tests if you want it to be labeled as a test. So that is something to look at, but that is an option that is available for the default image. This is the one. Again, the specs are available for you to be able to determine those, and I will have them updated on this page. But they are, if I just go back quickly to a managed course, they are in here on the home page. So they are 225 by 750 pixels. All right, let's go back to the slide deck and let's do some best practices. So first, have an outline, clear learn objectives. So in your overview and even on your welcome message, it might be the same messaging. Make sure it's a breakdown of what all the things that they're going to learn or assignments that they need to do. For encouraging engagement, don't always make them the same thing every time. Do a little bit of everything. Also, have a video and then a quiz. I always like putting quizzes with videos, or even if they read an article, have a quiz, because then it's making them actually, oh, I actually have to like pay attention and I have to read this. I got to be engaged. So it's really good to get the learners interested in actually paying attention to what they're doing. Test the course. So go through it yourself, make sure that it's working correctly. Again, like that quiz, we have to go back and fix it. So make sure that everything's running smoothly and you didn't make any mistakes, because we're all human and we make mistakes and we just got to fix them. Then finally, make sure that you're tracking people's progress and getting that feedback. It's a great tool and nothing is ever stagnant. Everything is always learning and adapting. So we always want to make those updates with that feedback, especially if it's valid. All right, questions. Are there any questions related to Member 365 or anything else? I love this. Where can we get Member 365 t-shirts? Funny enough, I don't have any for sale. I will ask about that. I've never been asked. Thanks for that. But if you have any questions about the LMS program or Member 365, I'd be happy to answer them. Okay, so one thing that I also like to point out is there are some other programs out there to help you with quiz or creating quizzes. They are AI tools. It's simple search and create quizzes for AI with AI, and you can provide them with videos and a few contents, and then it will create those questionnaires for you to make it a little bit easier for yourself. So that's a question that comes up quite a lot. The other thing is, again, just make sure that when you are doing it as a course that they need to purchase in the store, don't grant access in any other format. Can you make it a requirement for a person to access the course? Can you have a requirement for a person to access the course? So you can make it so that it's mandatory. So they already have access to it, and so they have to complete it. In that sense, yes. So when you are if it's mandatory for someone, so just like I did under access, if it's a specific individual, I can assign them and make it mandatory, so they have to complete it. Otherwise, if it's for a group, like maybe it's for your certified members, they have to do this course, you can make it mandatory, and then they are automatically enrolled in the course and they get those reminders on the dashboard. So again, make sure you're doing reminders. Great question, by the way. How do I set up LMS if we do not have it? What do we have? But we have continuation. Okay, so continuing education is also a premium module. LMS is the two premium modules that we have on our system. If you want to get them set up, you have to reach out to your account manager and he will be able to walk you through what those are. I'm always happy to have a call with you as well if you want to go over kind of the strategy, and we can then get you set up. No problem with that. You are very welcome. All right. Anything else today or in the future, please reach out. I love questions. I say it all the time. It's probably a broken record, but that's okay. So ask away. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you next time.